It's our action that speaks the loudest. Though we the sweet scientists, they ain't nothing sweet about us.
Andy Ruiz, right? AJ. You know, we can't talk heavyweights without talking about those guys. Was that the typical AJ in that ring that day, or like the rumors about maybe him having a panic attack, or he wasn't himself, jitters, whatever it may be?
What I will say is this. If you're having panic attacks or jitters or cold feet about getting into a fight with somebody, then you're in the wrong game.
Well, he cleared the rumors and say it wasn't true.
He did say that, yeah,
right.
But I was watching it in Vegas. I was training for my fight, and I seen him walk into the ring and he had no sweat on him. And it's an old cliche in boxing, you've got to warm up. It's called being caught cold.
Mm-hmm.
So you're more susceptible to being hurt and knocked out if you're not properly warm and wet. You see these fights, they come out the back of the room and they're all soaking wet. And you know he's got a good sweat on, he's warm, he's ready for his fight. AJ walked out with bone dry. I said straight away, he's cold, he can get caught cold. And then the more I was watching it, it was like he was fazed by the lights and he was looking around the arena. And it shouldn't be, because Madison Square Garden is a quarter the size of Wembley football stadium.
Correct.
So,
but it is the world's most famous arena.
It is. But he should have been used to the crowds, and he was looking around, he was like a rabbit caught in the headlights. And I said, he's getting knocked out. I said, 100% he's getting knocked out. There was about 10 or 15 of us watching it in a house in Las Vegas. It was a fact of, he just did not want to be there on the night rather.
Let's say AJ gets his mind together now. How do you predict the second fight in Saudi Arabia?
Same again, exactly, even with his mind straight, because his mind wasn't the problem. The problem was he's met his bogeyman in Andy Ruiz Jr. The thing is with AJ, he can't change his style. He's a brute force, great at what he does, he's powerful, he's strong, he's got good boxing IQ and that, but he can't come out on his toes. He ain't going to come out like Muhammad Ali, flicking the jab and moving around.
Or like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, because he knows one style, and that's that classic walking forward, typical European style.
Right.
And he's looking to lift heavy weights in the gym and transfer that into a boxing fight. This is not possible because he's met a guy on 2 weeks' notice, by the way, yeah? One looks like an Adonis and one looks like a pizza delivery guy. On paper, it's a mismatch. It's like, oh, this guy's getting knocked out. Everyone in the place was like, oh, he's getting knocked out within the first 4. I bet you anything. he gets knocked out in the first 4. I said, this guy can fight. He's had 110 amateur fights and won 105 of them. He's lost a split decision for a world title.
After the fight, AJ, you were gracious in your post. You posted something like, you can come back from this, just something positive.
Yeah.
But then you flipped right around and then attacked him. Is that a strategy? Or?
Yeah, that's like not kicking him on while he's down, but giving him a couple of days to recover and then kicking him.
And then kick him back down.
Yeah, it was what it was. He didn't look, he was like he was unhappy with the loss. Right. Losing, it's not how you lose, but it's how you come back from a loss and what you do. Right. And that's how true champions are made. Look, Muhammad Ali lost fights, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler. The greatest fighters of our generation have all lost. It doesn't define a person, but in today's day and age, it does. It's like, oh my God, this guy can't fight anymore, he's rubbish.
Wouldn't you like to see that comeback story?
I'd love to see that comeback story because, let's face it, the bigger fight for me would be Joshua rather than Ruiz. But if Ruiz wins again, which I think he will, because I'll explain why, it wasn't like he landed some lucky punch like Hassim Rahman did against Lennox Lewis that time.
Yes.
Lewis went back, immediate rematch, and knocked him out. This guy was giving him a beatdown. I thought he lost every single round of the 7 rounds that he was lasting. Ruiz has quicker hands than him. And what happened with Joshua is he got mixed up with 2 styles. One minute he had his hands up like this, next minute he had one arm down. To do that Philly shell defence, like one arm there, that takes a lot of time and practice in the ring, like years. Not just like, oh, I'm just going to do this because it looks good. I just see the same thing again, not unless he can catch him early.
What's your take on Andy Ruiz? I mean, you said that you want to make him spear marshmallows. But he says that he calls your lineal title imaginary. You think that kind of like degrades boxing?
A lot of these guys in the division today, they have no clue about boxing. They fight for money and they fight because they want to be boxers, but they don't study the game. And for a statement like that, he obviously doesn't know about boxing, because anyone can be a world champion if you're good enough. There's been plenty of world champions out of every era, but there's only one lineal champion in each weight category of that time, going back hundreds of years. When I beat Klitschko, I became lineal champion, and you can only lose a lineal championship by getting beat, or you can retire.
Like Lennox Lewis.
Like Lennox Lewis did.
Right.
And that's it, you finished. Someone else has to fight for it. Vladimir didn't just become lineal champion through having a few fights.
Right.
It took him like unifying the division. It took him years and years to become the lineal champion after Lewis retired. So they didn't just go, okay, you're the next best dominant heavyweight, we'll give it you.
Right.
He had to earn it. And I beat him and took that off him and added my name to that short list of boxing greats.
Tired of trying to prove that?
I'm not tired of it because you don't need an alphabetical title to be the #1 in the division. And just because you're the lineal champion, it doesn't mean you're the best of your time.
What's your take on Dillian White? He said he actually looked up to you, he liked you a lot.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden I see you guys going back and forth, and now he's just been popped for a failed drug test, which is not finalized yet.
If it's a bad one, then he could end up getting banned for life, or maybe a 10-year ban or a 6-year ban or something. I hope that it's not, for his sake and for boxing, because let's face it, we need viable dance partners in the division. So the more competition we have, the better it makes this generation of heavyweights. And without the right competition, then no one can be considered great. Was Muhammad Ali the greatest on his own? No. He was the greatest because he beat great competition of his time.
How do you keep the fans happy and stay busy at the same time?
You knocked them out.
Yeah, with me, it's all about staying busy and active and keeping my mind focused on a goal, a short-term goal. Because if I don't have something in the pipeline, I'm liable to go AWOL again. And that's the last thing I want to do, because I never want to go back to them dark places ever again. I think I'm in physically stronger, fitter, 10 times more happy than I've ever been in my whole career now. And I think people are going to see the best of Tyson Fury now, because my whole career has always been a weight loss program. It's never been about boxing. Even before the Klitschko fight, I lost 120 pounds and then fought Klitschko. Like, I had 16-week training camp and it was all about losing weight. And then I lost 120 something pounds for the Klitschko fight, went in there and beat Klitschko after losing that weight. And then we all saw what happens after losing 147, going over there and putting a performance against Wilder. And it wasn't so much the boxing skill or anything that makes me better than everybody else, but it's the will to win. So I want to keep busy, and we tried a lot of names that people would recognise. All the names that people may want are not available. And I'm not the type of man who's going to fight someone who's had like 5 knockout losses, or people are familiar with him getting chinned. Because there was talk of Charles Martin, the former world champion, IBF world champion, but when you fight somebody who one of your rivals has already knocked out in 2 rounds...
What does that do for you?
So it doesn't do anything for me, because as soon as they say, oh, that's a terrible fight, Joshua knocked him out in 2 rounds. So if Tyson doesn't knock him out in a round or 2 rounds,
then it looks bad.
Then it's a terrible fight.
At least your next opponent is undefeated.
So I go for the undefeated, highly ranked opponents, and it is a risk because we don't know how good these fighters are.
No.
And every fighter who's unbeaten and highly ranked like these guys are, they could be the next best thing. They just haven't had the opportunity to prove it yet.
And you're giving them the opportunity.
And I'm giving them an opportunity, highly ranked, undefeated guys who haven't had that opportunity to prove on world level. Who was Andy Ruiz Jr. This time last year?
Good point. Exactly.
Nobody.
Great point.
Who was Tyson Fury before he beat Klitschko? I was just some 24-0 guy who had a big mouth, who thought he could climb mountains.
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know, but have they boxed at this level before? No. Have they ever fought someone like me before? No. Have they ever had as much media attention or the media commitments that they'll have to do? No. And if you've not had that experience, 50% of them will fold at that.
This next opponent, you should get past him, right? I mean, that's what's expected of you.
Potential banana skin, 6'6" southpaw.
Right, undefeated. Should you get past him, how likely is it for the rematch that everybody wants to see happen?
1,000,000%. Because not
even
unless,
with the networks,
even with
like
the
Cold
networks,
War?
the contract has been signed. I've signed and Wilder signed.
Wow.
So I signed after the Tom Schwartz fight.
Oh, wow.
But the only reason this fight wouldn't happen is if Ruiz beats Joshua and Al Heyman decides to put Wilder and Ruiz together, being from the same stable, unification for all the belts.
Right.
But I would still have his name on a contract, so he can't do that without consulting me first. So
what if your prediction is wrong and AJ comes back from this loss and wins big against Ruiz? How does that shape the heavyweight division?
It doesn't, because I've still got Wilder's name on a contract and he can't go anywhere because I've got it sewn up.
So you have to see Wilder first?
He has to come through me first, if he's going to go visit anybody else.
What else do you want to accomplish?
Do you know what? I just take it fight by fight, day by day, because the only thing that I really concern about is just to be happy. I don't box for titles or belts or for money or for fame or glory. That's all finished. That's all been accomplished. I've won every single belt there is to win in boxing. And I've done everything that I ever dreamed of and more. I only box for happiness because it brings me happiness.
Let's see how you feel about a few other fighters that are in the sport today. Rapid fire names. Boxer, just describe in one word. Floyd Mayweather.
Money man.
Dillian White.
Nearly man.
Mike Tyson.
Baddest man on the planet.
Anthony Joshua.
Bodybuilder.
Canelo.
Mexican legend.
David Price.
Big stiff plumber from Liverpool.
Conor McGregor.
Notorious.
Andy Ruiz Jr.
Snickers.
That's good. That was
Deontay Wilder.
Pussy.
Damn. Lennox Lewis.
A good opinion of Lennox.
Whatever's true from
The Lion.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We gotta talk about some Tyson talk, man. Some slogans, words that we don't know what the F they mean, right? And
I guess it's because of where you come from. You know,
Right.
you're from Manchester.
Well, if you don't know what Dazn means and you want to know, go on Urban Dictionary
Right.
and type in Dazn and see what comes up.
Well, what did Deontay Wilder say that meant? Deontay Wilder said that was a person that didn't have a job. Is that true?
Nope. If you want to know what it means, anybody does, Urban Dictionary it, put in Dazn and it'll come up.
All right.
Should we do it right now on air?
yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it.
This
Let's
is
do it.
Let's do it.
unbelievable.
We're not allowed to have phones. Our producer, she
it'll
loves
be all
our
right.
phones.
I've got the phone.
She checks my messages while we.
I'll take the blame.
We doing Google here or what?
Going to Google it,
All right.
just so you know I'm not trying to fix anything.
Let's see this right here. You just went to TysonFury.com. Oh, okay.
Found it?
Yeah.
Oh,
you've
my
got
phone.
it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
There you go. You read it out.
Okay. Dazn, an American professional. What?
Go on.
What?
This
An
is
American
legit.
professional boxer who has held the WBC heavyweight title since 2015, and in doing so, became the first American world heavyweight champion in 9 years. He was gifted a draw against Tyson Fury in a match where you wrote this.
I didn't write it, honestly. I did not write that. Watch it. Gifted a draw against Tyson Fury in a match. and
Wait,
it was
where
named
did you
Dazn.
guys find this from? Was this Google?
Google, yeah. And then the third one of a Dazn is.
That's not Google, that's Dougal.
No, read it. Read that one.
Let me see.
Dazn.
A useless, mismanaged WBC.
Honestly,
He just set us up, Deontay.
No, he just
this is the meaning of a Dazn.
No.
Honestly.
Wait. This is a.
keep reading.
Whose phone is this?
He owns UrbanDictionary.com.
Oh, this is Google though.
Yeah, it's Google. This is legit.
You sent this to Google.
No, I tell you where all these words came from, yeah? Because my father, he hates it when I swear, and I had a horrible habit of keep swearing all the time, especially in interviews.
Right.
So he said, stop swearing. He said, you need to stop. So I started using all these other words, yeah?
Like wooden top.
Yeah, like all not swearing words.
Right.
So I got used to not swearing, and I used these words and quite made them famous. That Dazn one is quite famous now, though. Everybody's saying it.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not like a regular English word that everybody says?
No.
You made this up?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
You've become a fashionable, I guess, athlete, so to speak. So we want your opinion on some of these other fighters' fashion choices. Andy Ruiz.
He looks very smart, sophisticated.
Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder's got that little something going on anywhere he dresses. I think he's got good dress sense, really.
Good stuff.
Deontay Wilder.
This is our boy Canelo. Be easy.
Yeah,
Be easy.
No, I think it's actually, it's our pajamas he's wearing.
I think
I don't even know.
He has sneakers on, so I think he was out and about in this.
Oh, listen, I'd probably wear something like that. So
The
I'm not
outfit
gonna call
probably
it.
costs about $20,000. That's your boy.
He looks like he's out yachting somewhere. But you can't go wrong with white linen, can you?
You can't go
All white.
white linen, no. Absolutely not.
This is Caleb Plant, junior middleweight.
Bad dress sense.
Bad dress.
He ain't gonna like that because he takes pride in how
Charlo.
he dresses. Jamel Charlo.
He looks very 80s.
Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, he looks like an English gent, doesn't he?
Ryan Garcia.
He looks like...
Doesn't this look like an R&B cover right here?
yeah, he looks like he could be a TV reality star.
Devin Haney.
Smart.
It's the new style. This is the
We
new
start
style.
with the high water.
He's waiting for the floods to come.
And who's
How about that guy?
This guy right here.
That's one badass dress.
If you do so, say.
Because I'm smoky.
Say so yourself.
What about this guy?
Sexy.
They picked the worst outfit for me.
Colourful.
Colorful. All right.
I thought he was gonna do me dirty. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Oh, man.
Last question. When this is all said and done, what are they gonna say about Tyson Fury?
How did he move like that?
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.